Like, comment, and subscribe to Mythic Machines. I'm Cody, and welcome to Mythic Machines. Today we're going to be cutting out the floor pan. You probably won't be installing because I still have some frame repair to do. We're ready to cut out the old one, measure up the new one, as I have the new one right here in my box. I got the floor pan from West Coast Classic Cougars. If you need anything for Cougar parts, I highly suggest go to them. They know what to do. Anyways, let me show you what we're going to be cutting out. Alright, so first thing I'm going to be cutting out is the seat riser, and it's got a bunch of little welds here, butt welds. Then I'm going to be cutting off with the plasma cutter, otherwise I'll just knock them off with the air hammer or cut them out with the grinder or something, but I don't care about the floor pan, and all I'm going to do is cut out the welds. So I'm going to be using my plasma cutter. I got all my protective gear on now, just safety first, and we'll cut them out real quick. To remove this, all my spot welds have been removed on both sides and the back here. So as soon as I cut this out, this piece will come out. So let's do that. Cut out the welds. Pulled out the seat riser. So now there's nothing left holding this in other than the floor pan being welded on the sides and everything, but we're going to be cutting out the floor pan in sections. Most we're going to do that because, as you see over here, it's so heavily rusted and pitted I can't see where the spot welds are. So therefore I'm going to cut it off where the frame is not, and I know for sure where the frame is not. And then I'm going to use the air hammer to knock off the rest of it, and a grinder to cut off what else needs to be cut off. So we're going to cut out this whole section here. The plasma cutter, cut out that whole section. And then we're going to cut off the other seat riser, do the same on the other side. We're going to cut out the back, the tunnel, everything. So eventually there's nothing left of the floor pan. Alright, so I'm going to start cutting out this whole entire piece and we'll see. Alright, so got it all cut all the way around. Now we're going to take the hammer and just tap what's left. And with that, we have this whole entire section cut out. This piece is here. I'm just going to fold up. Use the air hammer to get under it and knock off the rest of this so I don't cut my frame, which is very important to do. And then on the inside, as you can see here, I left a lip where it bolts up and then folds up and welds into the side of the frame there, which I left there. I'm going to take the little spot welds off they got, little tack welds off they have, using different methods so I don't damage this part. And so I have all of my lining up spots for the new one, so when I put it in, On a side note, also, if you are cutting with the plasma cutter, make sure you don't have any lines under it. As you can see here, I made some cut holes through this brake line, which I know is empty, and it didn't have anything in it, so I wasn't too worried about it. But if you do, that could have been a fuel line, brake line, any kind of line that holds fluids in it. That could cause a serious fire and really mess up your day. Alright, so that's why I did a cutout in the small section on this side. I'm going to be doing the same on the other side, cutting out the same section, and then I'll be cutting out the tunnel, and then I'll be cutting out the back piece, because I'm doing a full floor pan. And then I'll be taking off all the extra chunks that need to be removed, and I'll be getting the new floor pan in here to size it up, make sure it fits and everything correctly before I do any. After that, I'll be fixing any rust or damage or anything in the frame, which the floor pan welds to. So this piece is here on the other side, in the center here, and in the back two corners, fixing those. And then I'll be putting in the floor pan, welding it in other than the front, because I also have to replace the firewall. And the firewall goes under the floor pan, so I will not be completely welding in the front of the floor pan. Alright, so we got the floor cut out to everywhere we're going to cut out. Now, you can see we just got the last bits here on top of the frame to take off, which we're going to be using the air hammer. It's right here to knock it off. Oh yeah. Put it under there. Just take it all off just like that. Alright, as you see there, get all the top metal off. All I need now is just to come through and clean off what extra bits with the little grinder, and that'll be all done. Now for the back. Unfortunately, when I was cutting out the back section here, my camera messed up and it didn't record it. So I didn't get to show you that part, but now I'm going to take out the back corner here and the top of the frame I have here, the rest of the top piece up here, and the same on the other side. So let's get to it. Well, my side panel covers I've been trying to take off for a while now, are in the way of me taking off the rest of this. So I'm going to somehow get the screws unstuck and get these off before I get the rest of this off. Same for the other side. So I'll be back then. Alright, it's the next day. I got the panels off and I'm ready to remove the rest of it. So, here we go. Alright, as you see there, that was the last bit of the floor pan removed. All I need now is just to grind the spots that are a little bit left. Once I'm done that, I can make sure the fan fits and it'll be there. So, I'm going to grind those off, grind it all flat, and we'll set the pan in and make sure it fits. I now have it all cleaned off. Well, everything's flat on it. See? As you see, everything's all cleaned off, other than the back here, which didn't really need to be cleaned. I just got to straighten that out, clean it off later. Back, corners. As you can see here, this is the spot where I got to fix, so I'm going to have to cut this out, refashion a little plate for it, weld it back in so it's nice and solid. But for now, we're just going to set the pan in. We're going to make sure it fits correctly. And everything else, but everything else, all that. You can see here, everything's all cleaned off. So it'll take a journey. Right here to the back. Where I have my brand new floor pan. Let's cut open the box. See what we got inside. Oh, look at that! I got extra goodies I didn't know came with. Woohoo! Bonus stuff. All right, there's the brand new floor pan. Like I said, I bought this from West Coast Classic Cougars. This is a 65 to 68 Mustang floor pan, but the Cougar and the Mustang have the same exact floor plan for those years. So if you buy this one, it will fit your Cougar. Just make sure it's listed in the description. And the one I bought came with seat risers and new corner little spots that I was pointing out. Now I just have to make a fashion a new plate for, which I don't have to anymore because it actually came with one. Or one for each side. The left and passenger and driver's side seat risers. It came with those, so that's awesome. But there's my new floor pan. And now I gotta get it in. Now, the reason I brought you over here is because the way you put floor pans in a car like this, when it's in this condition, is that you can't go underneath because you have the frames there. So you have to go through the side. The only way to do that is go at an angle through the side of the window here. The door window right in there. So we're going to grab it, we're going to put it in. As you can see from here, I got my floor pan in. As you see, I didn't measure my pan out before I decided to put it in, so I got some mistakes here. As you can see there's a gap between there. Then I got this big gap right here. Same on the other side. And the gap between frame. So first things first, you'd always measure out your new floor pan before you put your old one in. But it did come with new plates for here. So those go right there under the floor pan, obviously. Just like that. So I'm just going to have to make something to fit back there. Patch that hole up. Replace both my pieces here. I got both, so might as well replace them both. Other than that, that's the video for today. I got my floor pan in. I'm going to take it back out, fix the two panels. Obviously, I just wanted to set the pan in, measure everything out, and make sure it fits correctly. Like it does. I know it would fit correctly. Well, not completely correctly, but should have measured it out beforehand. But I didn't, so that's on me. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, share with a friend. Maybe they'll like it too. So until next time, have fun.